Another trip. Okay. Yes. So we're coming back into the intermediate training for our Superfly. We already finished our vinyasa flow, so we're a little bit ahead of the curve. We're going to go from 4 until 5:15, get you guys into a nice long Shavasana, and then we will take a break until 6. So you can stay in Shavasana until 6, or just prep, eat, whatever you need to do, and we'll have our workshop from 6 to 8. So that's our sketch. Okay? It's going to be really fun. So I'm going to demo Superfly, and then I'm going to show you the prep, because everyone gets stuck in the same spot for Superfly. So instead of struggling through Superfly, let's just do the prep first, but let me show you why we're doing the prep so it makes sense. Your hair's doing amazing things right now. So, I like it a lot. Yeah. And then we'll go back and do Superfly together. So demo Superfly, show you the prep, do Superfly, and then we're going to do our partner play, and that is helping someone getting into the pose by buddying up. So it's kind of like an acro-aerial blend. Okay, and then we'll have plenty of time to switch, rotate, ask questions, review. I would suggest, if you can, if we get done early, to sit down and flip through the manual, as well as write some things down while it's fresh to remember the cues, okay? That's my suggestion. You get to do whatever you want. Okay. So we're going to build upon what we learned in the inversions. I'm going to show you facing forward, coming in through, I'm just going to do the whole sequence, coming in through sumo, floating Buddha. Try to repeat the names in your head so that they become second nature. It's just good to get it down like that. From floating Buddha, we're going to go through our flow, ladle, all the way around peaceful warrior. Always pause there to reset. People get really kind of confused when they're upside down if we try to go too fast. Then we're going to get back into our happy Buddha. Feet together, hands together, flex, open it up for archer. Okay, this is where it gets a little tricky. So from archer, we stay hooked. What we're going to do is squeeze the leg loops onto the shoulders. There's a little bit of an oomph there. I'm going to extend my legs at the same time that I squeeze. Once I'm there, I put my feet together and come into skydiver. Maybe this is as far as someone goes. They can just bank from side to side. Then we have to learn how to tuck through our pelvis, which we learned in our ollies. Reach underneath the armpits, push towards the ground and lift. That's the other part where people get stuck. So then we do some push-ups for chaturanga. My legs are really engaged to lift my upper body. You can come straight out for Superfly, which is really hard. And then if all goes well, we're going to wind up doing some toe touches. Straight toe touches. Very hard. Okay, from there we're going to put the leg loops back on. Back through skydiver. I call it a backpack when we put the leg loops on the shoulders. We're going to slide into archer and reverse it. Happy Buddha. And then we're going to do a wrist wrap, wide straddle, bicep curl, balance, scissor kick down, and everything we learned earlier we kind of wrap into our Superfly. Kind of fun, right? Okay, take a breath. Once we get that down, we're going to go back and learn how to lift the upper body. We did the arm presses when we were in our wide straddle for 2 to lift the upper body. Does this look familiar? 2A, yoga translations. So that's how we learn how to lift. If we're using our back instead of our arms, we're never going to be able to lift with our feet off the ground. So the prep that I like to do, I call it the shoulder sequence, because we're going to use the swing across the hips and lean forward like we did for our forward folds, but then we're going to hold on to the leg loops in the hands.
Are we watching or doing?
Watching. We're going to do it together after I show you the whole thing. So then we are, I call it swimming, right? Like we're swimming. Then we're going to deep dive, press, 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 and come up. This is also helping to prepare the shoulders for this movement. and then we're gonna pulse at the top. So this helps us come into our Superfly toe touches. It's okay if the swing rides up, just don't let it go over the head. Sometimes we won't stay on the legs. Then we're gonna do our push-ups from here. So I step back just an inch, so I have a little bit more weight in the upper body. So it's just like our chaturangas. We're gonna slide into elbows. From here, we're gonna squeeze the elbows onto the shoulders with our feet on the ground and practice lifting our upper body while we squeeze our arms together on a diagonal. It's really important to get this down here, so that way when we're fully suspended, it feels easy. Then we have to make sure the swing is back at our hips. We're gonna hook our feet, coming into a version of archer, and then we're gonna do the same thing where we squeeze the leg loops onto the shoulders with our feet hooked. Much harder, right? So we're practicing lifting our upper body and squeezing the legs, squeezing the hands together towards the ground. Okay? So a few other poses there, but let's just focus on the prep. Coming down through elbow hook to the ground and coming up. Okay? So let's do the prep first. So we get a feel for it, and then we'll see where we get stuck, and then when we partner up, we'll be able to get a little extra boost and lift to come into it. So let's start with our feet in the center of the mat, pushing the swing down strongly so it touches the legs and lean forward with the hips. Keep the upper body lifted a lot and reach back for the leg loops in your hands. Keep your upper body lifted a lot. Push forward with your hips. So you have to be up on your toes the whole time. Yeah, there you go. Now the arms are going to be out to a T and then overhead. Make sure the crown of the head is pointing towards the sky the whole time. And just kind of swim it out. Keep pressure on the leg loops the whole time, so we're pressing down. It's really great for lubricating the shoulder joints too. The swing is always going to ride up, so don't worry about it right now. Just keep pushing forward and lifting the upper body. Okay, great. Now let's deep dive. If you ever want the swing to come back down to the hips, you just deep dive and then lift one leg at a time and it'll slide back down into the crease. Push the hips forward, bring the legs wide, bring the arms wide and around and all the way to the top. So let's do a few deep dives. Walk the feet forward past the circle, ground through the balls of the feet, and then lift. If you need, Selena, I put the spray next to you. Thanks. Some more grip. Okay, lifting all the way up, press, press, press. When we get to the top, you always keep the ears above the biceps and we're gonna press, press, press. Press with the arms. Good. Then we're going to come out wide into a push-up position. Walk back a little bit, just behind the circle. Keep pressing the hips forward, and then press the hands down. Do little push-ups. Keep the gaze lifted. Keep looking forward. So our gaze has to be up in all the Superfly poses for us to lift the upper body. Good. Drop into elbows. So we're going to do an elbow hang, which means there's more weight in the upper body. Don't look down though, keep looking forward. Squeeze the arms together out in a diagonal in front of you. Straighten the arms and let the leg loop slide all the way up. Yeah, it's going to be a little intense on the skin, but you get a free rolfing session once again. Okay, squeeze and lift. Practice lifting your upper body to get the leg loops on. Notice if you don't lift your head, it's impossible, right? So there's some very specific order of operations here. So squeeze and lift, squeeze and lift. That's it. Awesome. So let's try that with a little bit more weight. Go back to elbows. Walk your feet to the back of the mat so your hips are right underneath your plumb line. Hook the feet outside in for a version of archer. Outside in. There you go. Awesome. So this is a little bit more accurate in the level of difficulty it's going to be. Now we have to do the same movement without having our feet on the ground. So you press your hips down towards the earth strongly. Lift your upper body and squeeze your arms together on a diagonal. It's like a big umph. Yep, down towards the ground, straight arms. So let's try one more time, Jade, but look at me, okay? Okay, so we're here. And then we squeeze straight arms straight down towards the ground. So try that.
I want to say I definitely can't do this because last time I thought my left shoulder couldn't do this, you actually talked me through it. But it doesn't feel like my left shoulder can do it.
Sure. So squeeze, so lift the upper body. Yep, press your hips down, squeeze the arms straight. Yeah, this is an important cue. Okay, good. Yeah, so squeeze them on a diagonal in front of you. Yeah. That foot came off, that's so funny. There you go. So where does it hurt when you do that? Is there a spot where it hurts? Okay.
Any motion that way.
So it's more out in front of you than straight down. That might help.
Okay.
Okay.
It's kind of painful.
Well, it's intense. Yeah, it's very sensational. That's it. That's the ankle. It's a little better. Yeah, that's what we did last time. Okay, very good. So that's our prep. Bring the feet back down. Walk it forward. Coming up. If you have a long sleeve you can put on so that you have something that will slide, it makes a big difference. I usually wear a shirt for this part. And it's also helpful if you don't get your hair caught on your shoulders. So anyhow, I'm gonna try it with my long sleeve on so you can get a sense of it. Okay? Okay, so let me demo Superfly one more time and then we're gonna do it together. Just keeping in mind those little cues and tips that we did previously. I'm gonna just pop right back into it because before we leave today, we're gonna learn how to come to Superfly from here. So, coming through my Peaceful Warrior, I can come through Happy Buddha, Archer, squeeze and lift, engaging my feet. It's really all about my lower body. So the same lever, right? If I'm pressing down strongly with my hips, I can lift my upper body. Grabbing for my backpack, I have to lift immediately. Try not to hesitate there because you're just gonna plummet towards the earth because gravity's doing such a good job. Okay, so again, backpack, extend the legs, press your pelvis towards the ground, lift your upper body. It's a little strong. Okay, from there we're gonna try and straighten the arms, chaturangas. Just keep the upper body lifted. If you drop your head at all, you're not gonna press to come up. Put the leg loops on whenever you feel complete, and then we'll reverse it. Archer, Happy Buddha, wrist wrap, bicep curl, balance, scissor kick down. Okay, let's come into sumo. I'll come help you if you get stuck, but at least try it once. You guys stoked?
Yeah, so we're starting sumo?
Yeah, we're all doing it together now. Yeah. You're gonna gear up for this one. Energy up. That's right. Just think up. Let's come through our floating Buddha. From floating Buddha, we're gonna go through our half flow and wind up in ladle and then peaceful warrior. Okay, talk yourself through it. Remember how to get into ladle, and then legs widen around, peaceful warrior, come upside down. Pause there, so I'll meet in peaceful warrior. Then reach up, grab for the leg loops in your hands. Take the leg loops off the ankles and put your feet right back on the swing. Toes touch, hands to prayer to the heart. Happy Buddha. Archer, open it up. Leg loops go on the outside of the knees. Okay. Once we're here, we have to extend our legs strongly down towards the ground, level with the earth, and squeeze the leg loops onto the shoulders. Just try it.
Can you show that one more time?
I showed it 3 times.
Oh yeah.
Flip it upside down.
Squeeze the leg loops onto the shoulders as you straighten your legs down towards the earth.
Okay.
Down towards the earth. Yeah, good. Legs down towards the earth. Yes. Good. Okay, good. I'll help you in a moment, Selena. Okay. Tuck through your pelvis. Yes. Grab for the leg loops underneath the armpits, not on top. Underneath, tuck. Yeah. So you have to do it very specifically. If you try to do it like that, you're going to kerplunk your head towards the ground. Get them back on. See, step by step. So can you reach for your ribs? Yes. Your thumb is going to hook, and then you're going to press and lift. All right. Press and lift. Lift, 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 press. Lift your head. Press, press, press. Press and lift. Heavy legs. Yes. Hurrah! That's the idea. Yeah. And if you don't come up, you're going to come down. And then from there, we're going to reverse it. Okay. So this is a good time to buddy up. Selena, will you be my demo?
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see if it works.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty confident that in the partner play I can lift you and you're not going to injure your shoulder. So that's why you're a good example. And this is a nice way to help somebody who is having some mobility issues in their shoulders to give them a little bit more confidence to get there. Okay. Don't need the one sitting on for this part. I'm going to talk her through it. You're going to watch, and then we're going to switch in partner. Okay? So ladle, peaceful warrior. Just keep on trucking, going all the way back to our inversion. Happy Buddha. Just get yourself through it a little bit faster. And then there's like a bow in the middle of your body where it's like the belly droops, the lower back is arched, and that's why it's hard to push. That's why we have to practice all those plank poses. Once that comes in and up, you'll be able to lift. Archer. Sorry for the intermission. Okay, once she's an archer, I'm going to roll in and help her. So this is the buddying, okay? You're touching, good job. Okay, and it's a little close, it's a bit intimate, but you know, as long as your buddy likes you, it's not a big deal. I'm going to lift her and get my feet on her hips. So I'm going to lift her up as high as I can, in order for her to feel like she has some space. And so now, what she's going to do, if she can, she's going to squeeze the leg loops onto the shoulders. If you feel like
my legs or no?
you can. Straighten the legs, squeeze. See if you can squeeze. So if that's uncomfortable, so the legs have to be a little bit higher like that, and together a little bit more like that.
Okay.
So that you're lifted. So you're not in an L shape here, you're thinking plank. Yeah. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll just squeeze with them. Yeah, and then get my feet here. Good. So I just kind of helped her lift and squeeze together. Remember I said if you don't have straight arms, was that uncomfortable for your shoulder or was it okay?
It was okay. I mean, when you finally lifted me up yourself, yeah.
Yeah, so basically the movement is your arms were too far this way. They had to be this way in order to squeeze.
Okay.
Okay, so now you're going to tee the arms and bring the bottoms of the feet together, knees open wide for skydiver. Good, and maybe this is as far as your buddy goes. Usually before we go any further, I'll have them go cross over and pull the leg loops on a little tighter. So I'll lift one foot, get it back on, lift the other foot. There you go, get it in nice and tight. Because there is kind of like a soft spot where the leg loops go. If they're on the rotator cuff, it doesn't feel great. Does it feel a little better? Awesome. Okay, so this is the tough part, is hooking underneath. Everyone goes like this, and then you just head dive, right? So see if you can hook. See if you can hook your thumbs underneath. Yes. And now what you're gonna do, nope, you gotta stay long. Look up, yep. And so you extend your legs.
When you hook, didn't you say lift, tuck a little bit?
You tuck, but not your upper body.
Okay.
So stay lifted, but tuck through the pelvis.
Okay.
So press your hips down, and now press, 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 come up. Press, 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 come up. Yes. There you go. Out on a diagonal. Yes. Good, not that far. Just, yeah, there you go. Because we don't look at me. Legs are out, so you're in a plank. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Keep your arms a little bit lower so you're not collapsing. Right there. Perfect. That's it. So that is our Superfly. I'm not holding her with my toes. I'm just ready to support her weight if she collapses. But that's where you have to lift this through your solar plexus. That's when the little droop there. See if you can do some chaturangas, hands right underneath the shoulders. Lower, and then press, press, press. Straight up, good. And then lower, and then press. Awesome. So now she's gonna come into a push-up position, put the leg loops back on the shoulders. There you go, nice and easy. And now she doesn't need me anymore. She's gonna come through her skydiver, feet together, knees open wide. I'm just mimicking underneath her so she can see what's happening. And now before anything else, I'm gonna roll out, otherwise we're gonna face plant, right? So I get out of the way, just rolling in and out, and then we're gonna let her drop into archer. She just bends the elbows and drops in. Good, feet together, arch. And then the leg loops can come on the other side of the knees, Happy Buddha. She's just reversing it. Slide into a wrist wrap. Once you're in a wrist wrap, wide straddle. Pull up, do a sit up, balance, scissor kick down, head in line with the body. Good, yeah, stay seated. Sumo, yeah, everyone likes to pop up. It's like flipping upside down and doing all kinds of crazy things. You're gonna stay seated, really good. Okay, so what we'll do now is do you wanna demo on her or do you want me to
No, I'd like to
practice on her?
practice,
Okay.
yeah.
So now you're gonna be in the swing and she's gonna be buddying with you and I'll just be talking you through it. You ready for that? Yeah. Okay. Good, good.